Hello and welcome along to the Goulburn preview. Goulburn Harness Racing back again on Monday afternoon. They've got 9 races on the card. The first event goes just before 1 o'clock. And I think I can find a few winners on the card. In saying that, very, very tough program of racing for the Monday afternoon. Hi, my name is Greg Hayes and great to have your company as we go through this card of racing on Monday at Goulburn. Let's start in race 1, and look, it's going to be one of the shortest price favourites of the day, but I do think that number 10, Kenny Wood, should be extremely hard to beat. Really well placed with the claim for Zara Fitzpatrick, and interestingly enough, the horse has had the 5 starts here on the Goulburn track, now trained by Brent Milley, but the horse was formerly trained in New South Wales, has a good record on the circuit, and importantly, young Zara Fitzpatrick has had some experience on the horse in the past. We're going to have a look at its very dominant win at Menangle last week, and on this occasion rolled to the top. We're looking for the horse in front, the horse in the green colours. Michael Stanley drove in this replay, and the horse just gets further and further in front. It was super impressive. Now, what I will say is that it didn't have to do a lot in the early stages, just worked off the gate and then pushed forward and found the top. Now, it does have a second row draw to overcome, and if it can do everything right, stay out of trouble, I think Zara can make an early move in the race and put its rivals to sleep pretty early down the straight in Goulburn. I don't think it should have too many problems. So that is in race 1, horse number 10, Kenny Wood. Going to stick in race 2. I'm going to go for the next race and go with number 1, Happily. Now, this one is trained by Amy Day. Now, we haven't seen it for quite some time. It's only had the 1 career run, and that was back in May of 2025, and did a pretty good job. I'll show you that replay in a moment. Just keep in mind this horse has been to the trials at Goulburn recently, finished second in the trial. The overall time wasn't overly fast, but the last 800 metres was very respectable, and I think the horse, off that first run that we're going to have a look at, would suggest that it's got its fair share of ability. Let's roll the replay. Now, the horse that wins this race, the horse that's in front, is Soho Piastri. And off this win back in May of last year, Connections decided to take it to a really strong 2-year-old race at Ballarat, I think. And they took on Lucaso and some pretty smart 2-year-olds. But we're looking for the horse in the red colours, out very wide on the track. In fact, comes the widest. And look at it zoom home. Once it flattens out, it really looks like it's got some explosive speed. So I think Amy, be interesting to see what its gate speed is like. Obviously does have some very high speed when saved up for the 1 run. But I think if Happily can get a nice soft sit somewhere, I think it's going to take a lot of beating. So that is in race 2, horse number 1, Happily. Going to stick with the day theme, going all the way to race 6 now. And I'm going to go with horse number 4, Chrissy Eve. Now, this horse, well named, born on Christmas Eve back in 2019. She's well performed. She's done a good job for Connections, but she's been in really good form of late. She's run a couple of seconds, hasn't won in a while, but gee, I reckon the second last time out at the Wagga track suggests that a win is not too far away. Let's have a look at the replay. Now, drew inside of the second row, so got absolutely buried in this race. We're looking for the Neil Day red colours with the blue diamond. Now, Neil's able to get away from the inside when he wants to and go out after Wicked Wizard. Now, Wicked Wizard absolutely brains them. And to be fair, I think Chrissy Eve probably peaked halfway up the straight. Horses that ran 3rd and 4th actually close on her. But I think her form is good enough. She had a lot of traffic issues in that run at Wagga. And I think from the front row draw, she should be able to be closer in the run. Only little concern with her, she's had 5 starts on a home track and she's yet to place. That does worry me, because I do think Goulburn's horses is horses for courses. But I'm going to go with Chrissy Eve. That's in race 6, horse number 4, Chrissy Eve. And that takes us to race 7, and I'm pretty keen on this one. Horse number 11, Kiki Meester. Now, Kiki Meester, pretty talented juvenile. We saw it do some really good things in the Sales Series up in Queensland as a 2-year-old. Super impressive, ran second in the final, banked $20,000 for its Connections, did a really good job. But I was really happy with its trial effort at Menangle last time out. They went 151 and a piece. We're going to have a look at the trial. The horse drew barrier 1. Now, when we pick it up, We're looking for the horse in the pink colours, the Ricky Alchin colours. Now, halfway or not even that far up the straight, Ricky thought about just letting the horse coast to the line, but the two horses that he was going to coast to the line on their backs, they didn't take him anywhere. So Ricky was forced to come to the outside, and wow, look at it go. Hits the line really solidly. For a 3-year-old that hasn't done a lot of racing, I think that one looks like it's got more than its fair share of ability. And despite the second row draw in race 7, I do think Kiki Meester is going to take a lot of beating. Looks like a horse that might win a nice race throughout its career. As I said, it's already run second in a $100,000 race, and that was as a 2-year-old. So it'd be interesting to see what Ricky can do with it in its 3-year-old season. So that is in race 7, number 11, Kiki Meester. That wraps up the preview of Goulburn Harness Racing on Monday afternoon. Hopefully there's a few winners for you. I do think it's a very tough program. All the best if you're having a bet.